welcome to From Days to Years. We're so excited that you're here. Our show is an open letter from moms to moms. We're here to celebrate our successes and seemingly our failures, because we're not failing, we're just learning together. And I always say I want y'all to go from guilt to grace, from fear to faith.
We have the giggles.
We do have the giggles today. We have a lot of fun, so we're just laughing. And I also want y'all to go from superficial, just stuffing yourself with multitasking, so superficial multitasking, to superbly managing your time.
That's a good one.
It is so
That's
much
hard.
fun.
That's hard.
And I'm here with Heather, my awesome co-host.
Hi, Angela.
How are you? And she's going to introduce our topic for today.
Today we're going to talk about something that Angela didn't know was a real thing, but I have always heard about, SAD, Seasonal Affective Disorder, which I think really is something you find more up north, where it's cold, it's dark, for 4 or 5 months out of the year. You really do find that. So I think it's interesting because, since I moved to Florida a year ago, you don't hear about it here because it's sunny every single day. Yeah. I actually miss the rain of Seattle.
Do?
Yes. There's something nice about a nice rainy day.
I like rainy days.
To sit. Well, I didn't mind it because it was nice to just say, I'm staying home today, and I'm going to get all this stuff done, because it was raining and you didn't really want to go out in the and it's not a hard rain. People think Seattle, because you see the movies, it's a hard rain. It's a drizzle. It's a non-stop drizzle. You don't use umbrellas because umbrellas are useless. You just throw a raincoat on, a hoodie. Kids just wear hoodies. That's where the hoodies come from, because you just pull the hood up. It doesn't rain hard enough for it to get that wet.
Oh.
But it's about January, February where you start smelling wet stuff. And you're wondering what it is. It's just because your cars are wet on the inside from kids' shoes, backpacks, that kind of stuff. And then the sun comes, and you love it, and then October hits, and you're like, when is it going to rain?
Oh, wow.
But so I miss the real seasons.
I miss the real season, but I would not want a lot of rain.
Yeah.
I like some rain because it's like you get the comfort food and
Well, that's what I miss.
So
I miss making chili. When do you make chili in Florida?
You don't. I miss chili.
My husband just had at work had a chili cook-off, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I don't understand. But how do you...
They should have an ice cream cook-off. That's not a thing.
Pot roast, it's just... I did it. I made chicken and dumplings one day because I was just craving it, but it was so hot.
Yeah, down here.
It was so hot. And you can't sit outside and eat it. It's just weird.
So this so sad. Yeah, I did not know. So I have a family member who owns a business, and he was telling me about this, and he's like, y'all should talk about this on your show, because his business deals with people with this type of disorder. They help them, and I don't want to name the business because I didn't get permission from him to do that, so I'm not going to. But
it's also, in another note, you maybe have not heard it as sad, because when I first moved to Seattle in 2006, they actually had billboards everywhere talking about it.
Really?
And you would go to the doctor and they would ask, do you think you have SAD? And I'm like, do I have SAD? Do you mean, am I SAD? And why would I be SAD? Yeah. And then somebody explained to me it's seasonal affective disorder. And then you start noticing, in certain stores, they sell special lighting for you to sit in front of to boost you. And another term might also be winter blues. You're done. Yeah. That's why I think a lot of people up north in the winter book trips to Mexico, Hawaii, to Florida, somewhere warm and sunny, because it does boost you. I really do think I have more energy since I moved to Florida, but I like to be outside, and so it's hard because it's hot.
It is.
But and it's draining. The heat in Florida can be draining, and I don't know how to get that point across to friends.
And I want to just read a little bit of this.
Yes.
This came from NIH. So all this information that we got came from there. So if you don't know what SAD is, or seasonal affective disorder is, so it just says, in some cases, these mood changes are more serious and can affect how a person feels, thinks, and handles their daily activity. So some of the symptoms of the major depression may include feeling depressed most of the day, nearly every day, losing interest in activities you once enjoyed, experiencing changes in appetite or weight, having problems with sleep. There's like 7 or 8 or possibly 9 different symptoms that go along with this disorder. So if you're feeling like that and you do live in the Pacific Northwest.
Right, Pacific Northwest, which is, we don't see the sun really until July.
Right.
In July, August, September.
Yeah.
And then we lose the sun for a long time.
But to me, when I first thought of this, I thought it called it seasonal depression, and then when I looked it up, it's called seasonal affective disorder. I thought of it as mostly being triggered by certain holidays, because that's what I thought.
Yeah, because it is around that season. It's that season.
So, because you could live in Florida and still have the same thing, because maybe there's been deaths in your family,
Right.
or empty nesters. Your kids are no longer there to celebrate
Right.
holidays with you.
Right.
So having a depression or around seasons of holidays or major holidays, that maybe you don't get to experience that with your family and friends like you used to, because people have died
Right,
or they
yeah.
moved away. So that it could be a symptom of something like this. And I would definitely say, if you're feeling that way, please reach out to someone, talk to a therapist. A lot of times those things are covered by insurance.
Yes,
And even
yes.
if it's not, just see what you can do. Sometimes places of faith have people that will work with you at a lower cost. We do
Right.
not have access to that type of information, but you can definitely reach out to your own network where you live to get that, because we want to make sure people are being healthy with their mind. It's
Yes.
a very important thing. So even though this may not be triggered by your season of weather where you are, it can be triggered by things happening in your life. The seasons happening in your life, for example, fall, winter, when your kids are going back to school and you're thinking about, maybe sometimes they're not going to be there as much, they're getting older, and then you have the holidays come, things can trigger you to have certain type of depressions. It doesn't necessarily have to be sad. One of the other things the article mentioned is, seasonal affective disorder occurs 4 times more often in women than it is in men. So if someone's just telling, oh, you're fine, you're just, you're just a little sad,
Yeah.
you really could have something that needs to be checked out.
You know yourself better
Yeah.
than the doctor that maybe you've seen for a few years,
Yeah.
but doesn't see you on a regular basis. You know when you start feeling a little down and one of the symptoms was you feel like you're hibernating. Because I've had so much going on, now I'm just going to stay home.
Yeah.
And sometimes I call those my at-home days, but for
Yeah.
another reason, because that means I have no intentions of leaving this house, because I'm doing laundry, dishes, cleaning the floors, and I've always, even my kids know during the summer we have at-home days
Yeah.
where I got to get caught up, because then I feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So, but yes,
She has some at-home days. If you're having at-home days
every
28
day.
days out of a 31
Yeah, that's not.
month,
you-
that's not
Please
normal.
talk to someone.
And then also there's a suicide prevention line. If you are feeling where your depression or your sadness is overcoming for you, please reach out. There are resources available.
Yes.
There's a national hotline. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. 1-800-273-TALK. 1-800-273-8255. Because if you are feeling like this and you are overwhelmed, we never want someone to feel like it would be better for you not to be here. That's the depression talking. That's sadness talking. That's that blue talk.
Yes.
That's not true. Just because something isn't great today doesn't mean it won't get better tomorrow or the
Right.
next week or the next month. Problems have a way of working out.
Yes.
They may not work out at that moment, but they do have a way of working out, and even situations. So please make sure y'all are getting help, and don't go to that extreme where you think it's better for you not to be here.
No.
But we're going to keep talking about
Seasonal affective disorder. And one of the not the symptoms, but one of the cures, because not everybody can afford to go somewhere warm and sunny, are special lights that you can buy.
Yep.
And just about I feel like, every big name stores sell these things.
They do.
Yeah.
It's called light therapy.
Light therapy. And it really does work. Sometimes, I've been known to go into the bathroom. I'm a light person. If you don't be in the room in the dark, turn the lights on. I hate being in the dark. It drives me nuts. It hurts my eyes, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm fighting old lady eyes syndrome.
No, we're maturely.
I wear glasses, and I can't, because the glasses give me a headache, but then my contacts start to hurt after so many hours. So I live in a very weird world where I'm balancing a lot of different vision problems. I refuse to give up my contacts.
I haven't worn contacts in so long. It's,
But my
so
glasses
it's
make
hard
me
to stick
feel
myself down.
weird. So, anyways, back to sad. And you can also, sad also occurs in summer months as well. You might have trouble sleeping. You're eating poorly. Summer months, people tend to start eating more salad. You're eating lighter food, not such heavy foods like chicken pot pies and stuff. And maybe you've got some anxiety or little things. Driving down the road and somebody cuts you off and you just start to boil over. Something that maybe 2 months before you would have just shaken your head at, or I'm a finger person. I always shake my finger at the person. Coming back to haunt me one day when I have a teenager who's driving. Yes.
Good luck with that. I still have 8 years.
She's skittish, so it's going to be fun.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at I'm not laughing at the seriousness of the topic. I'm laughing at her.
My
soon-to-be driving
daughter,
teenager.
yeah. Help me.
I'm so not looking forward to that. I have 8 years, so I have a long way to go.
It goes fast. She's also job hunting, but
That's another problem.
yeah, another day.
But yeah, sometimes I know that I was talking to a relative. This is probably a couple of years ago. Relative still is alive. I'm not saying the relative's dead. And they were saying that they get a little seasonal depression,
Yeah.
and it's around the holidays. Because again, they don't have some family members around, or some people
Yeah.
are dead, or maybe sometimes people get divorced, and the kids aren't with you.
Right.
And they would listen to a lot of holiday music.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
found that the holiday music made them feel better, but then, it sounds weird, but it's true, they became dependent on the holiday music. So they would always have it on, just to get them through the day, or get them through the week.
Yes.
And so then they realized, wait, I have a problem.
Yeah.
I need to take care of this. I need to address what's going on.
That was
And-
smart, though, that they realized
It
that and
was.
came to that on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then they said, okay, holiday music is great, but let's get this taken care of.
Yeah.
Find out what's triggering me all the time in a certain season, what's going on, with my life. And they were able to do that, and they figured out. They didn't go see a therapist because that person's not into it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
They were able to address it. Not everybody's able to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need professional help, and there's nothing wrong with
No,
that.
there's not. It's just somebody to talk to. I mean, that's how you really have to look at it. It's just somebody who is neutral,
Yeah.
who doesn't have any opinions on what your such and such
Yeah.
did or said, or, they're just really good about making you talk, too,
Yeah.
not letting you just sit there.
They definitely challenge
Challenge
you.
you
A
to
good
think.
therapist
Yes.
will challenge you.
Yes.
And I would say I would love to give suggestions, but a therapist to me is very personal.
It's a personal thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And not every just because it works, that person's great for you is not going to be great for me. They have different. I mean, they try to be very neutral, but they do have things that affect them that lead them down certain paths. And so sometimes you have to call a couple of people or talk to a couple different people.
It's like trying on a dress.
Yes.
Not
every
Is
dress
gonna fit.
is not going to
Or a
fit
pair
every
of pants,
person.
or a pair of jeans. My God.
Yeah, that book, the Jean movie,
What is this? I
the
haven't heard of this.
traveling jeans.
The pants, the Yaya sisters.
Yeah.
Or the traveling pants.
Traveling,
Yeah. I've never seen that.
3 different people, different body types, and they all fit them. My daughter watched it with me for the first time. She goes, I don't think so.
Did they alter those jeans anyway? I'm just saying.
I don't know. It's Hollywood.
Okay, then that's
Yeah.
I'm not done playing the movie. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I
It was a
like
good
it.
movie, so I will say I thought it was a cute movie. Especially if you have teenage girls, it's a cute movie to watch with them. But yes, not everybody is the same, and not everybody. And sometimes maybe just a good friend. Or a
Who can keep
person
their
from
mouth shut.
church. Yeah, who can keep their mouth shut. There are friends who can do that, who don't, are the lockbox.
Yeah.
I forget the term, but there are friends who can do that.
Just be careful,
Yeah.
because I always tell my sister, our daughter is 8, and she was telling friends information. I said, baby, they can't hold water.
No,
Just remember that.
yeah, yeah,
Everybody go.
yeah. It's best to find a tribe so you can just tell them all, and then they can all talk about it behind your back.
There's a movie called The Women, and not the new version.
Oh, I like it.
Not that one. I'm talking
Oh,
about
okay.
so there's 2 old versions, because I like the old black and white
Oh,
films.
I haven't. Okay, I do like those too. I
you
didn't
do?
know there was an old one. Yeah.
There are 2 old versions. The one I like, I can't remember what year it came out in, but in the movie, she's like, she's getting ready to go and make some dinner or lunch or something. She goes and she tells the women, she leans in, don't talk about me when I'm gone. And these people are her friends.
But we do. I mean, you know,
So
but
make sure they're
I'd
not
rather
doing
them
that.
talk about me amongst themselves because they're my friends and I trust them with everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I also know that when they're gone, we talk about what goes around comes around. Just saying.
But just be
It's
careful.
a circle.
Be careful who's in your tribe. And
Yeah, but be careful because these
who
are
you're telling
trusted. These are
information.
trusted friends.
Yeah,
Yes.
Be very careful because you do need someone to talk to, and if you don't feel there are some cultures where getting, especially African American culture,
Right.
we typically don't.
Yeah.
Whether it's a marriage counselor or a marriage therapist, our culture is shies away from doctors and from therapists, and it's looked down on. Frankly, it's gotten better in the newer generations, but my parents' generation,
Yeah,
and even mine, they kind of shy away from it.
Yeah.
Sad
You
to
would
say.
go more to a church, a clergy member.
That's how we had it.
Yes,
That's how it
a
was.
clergy member who are trusted members.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep, that's how we used to do it.
they keep all the secrets and they can help.
Yeah.
They are trained.
Yeah.
Most clergymen are trained to help with these kinds
Some of
of
them
issues.
talk too, so be careful. I'm just saying.
Not all.
Not all. A couple of them, though.
Yes.
Have you seen the episode of Seinfeld?
No.
Oh, it's a long time ago, Seinfeld. There was an episode where she went to talk to a clergy person and he put out information all on TV. Anyway,
Okay.
it was the episode
I'll have
of
to look for
Seinfeld.
that.
It was funny. But yeah, like my sister's generations, they're better at that. Like they have friends and
Yes.
they all talk. And if somebody needs a therapist, they might refer somebody.
Right.
But
It is very
Mine,
different
you
too because the younger generation seem more open to
Yeah.
it and they might even jump around.
Yeah.
Oh, I've worked my issues out with this therapist. I need to go further, so I'm going to find a new therapist. It's just something that's worked, like their exercise schedule is worked into their daily schedule.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
and it's like it's not a big thing. It's almost
It's
like
healthy
bragging
almost
rights.
to have
Like,
somebody.
I have it, yes.
Yeah, it's healthy because you have that one person that you go and you
Yeah.
just explode.
Yeah.
And you get it off. And I will say, when I have those moments of I'm a redhead. I have a temper, and when I get it all out,
I've never seen you with a temper.
it takes a long time, and then when it hits, and I feel so much better afterwards because I bottle up. It's like
you're a
shaking.
bottler.
I'm a bottler. When you start seeing my shoulders going higher and higher,
I'm gonna have to look for that.
Yeah.
Y'all,
I'm getting
what's
better about just letting it go. I work out with someone who I think we're going to talk to
Yes, you are.
soon, and I have found myself, because it's in the car, Florida drivers are really different. They really like to push all the buttons, and I'm doing lots of deep breathing exercises in my car now.
that's probably a good idea.
It is good
I probably
because you
should do
forget
that.
how much you hold your breath, and I hold my breath a lot, especially when I work out, and I'm learning to take lots of breath. I'll all of a sudden go, you need to breathe.
Okay, so there's a point right there in that. So
Breathing.
the idea of breathing. So another thing, it doesn't say it in the paperwork that we have, and that might be one of the recommendations, is breathing. Like some people call it meditation, some people might call it praying, some
Right.
people might call it breathing. Different cultures, different
Call it
religions,
different things,
non-religions,
different terms.
different terms. But finding a space and a place
Yes.
to be able to relax and let things.
Yeah. My son calls centering himself. He centers himself.
Some people call that grounding themselves,
Yes.
centering. All of
Yes.
those terms mean the same thing.
And everybody goes about it differently.
Yeah.
He can clear his brain like that. My daughter can't shut it down.
I
It's
when I
hard.
sleep, that's when my brain stops.
That's when my brain starts going, and I wish I had a notepad or something next to me to make notes.
Okay, so I keep the phone with a memo pad.
Yeah, I should do that.
I do that now because I come up with some very good ideas at 3:00 in the morning.
See, we keep our cell phones away from our bedroom.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I used to keep my iPad, but I keep forgetting to grab it to bring it up. So,
Okay.
yeah, and I do like paper and pen. I never use it, but I like to use it.
I lose the paper sometimes.
I know. I have a big planner and I love to use it, but it's bulky.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of it, and I've been doing this for 10 years, buying the same planner every year, and every year I fall off the wagon, but next year I'm going to do it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's expensive habit.
But it's your habit. And no
It's
one's
my
judging.
habit. It's my favorite habit.
Yeah,
So,
no one's judging.
yeah.
So again, going back to that sad
Yes.
or the depression, some tips, some things to think about. Find someone to talk to. Find
Yes.
someone you trust. Like Heather has a mom tribe, and that's awesome. I'm redeveloping a new tribe down here in Florida. I still
Yes.
have some girlfriends up in.
Well, I was
Georgia
going to say,
where
I
we live.
need to
Yeah.
redevelop. Here's my new tribe. These 3 women that
I
I'm
love
with
our crew,
today.
by the way. Our crew is all, you can never leave me, any of you.
Yes, I guess there was a fear in the last episode that
Yes,
I was
there was a
leaving, but
fear.
it was just me putting it out there that I know there's
Okay.
better people. I'll take on another role, but it's okay.
We're going to go into therapy
I
for
have
this
fun.
conversation right
we're,
here.
We're going to have couples therapy.
finding that tribe and finding someone
Yes.
to talk to is really important. Also, whether it's centering, grounding,
Bring what
meditation,
works.
praying,
Sometimes you have to try a little
breathing.
bit of everything to make
Yeah.
it work. Yeah.
whatever that is, finding a space where you can just kind of stop, remove yourself from the situation, and then just reassess and slow it down. Because all of those different
Sometimes
things.
it's going so fast, and you've got, what is it, the merry-go-round, and you've got to make it stop.
Yeah.
So you can get off and recenter yourself before you jump back on.
But if talking to someone isn't working, and if, recentering yourself or grounding or meditation or whatever you want to call it isn't working, and you can't identify, is this seasonal? Am I always like this? If you can't pinpoint where it's coming from or what the problem is, and if you're starting to use crutches like music or alcohol or drugs or shopping or some other kind of if it's becoming an addictive personality because of what's affecting you mentally, you need to stop and get a licensed therapist, because the
Yes.
next step, unfortunately, could be you trying to end your life, and we don't want that. So
Yes.
getting a therapist, there's nothing wrong with that. And you don't have to tell anybody either.
No. Because it does affect 7.1% of the U.S. population and more women than men.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we do tend to take more on,
Yeah.
more roles on in the household. Whether we mean to do that or not, we just tend to do it.
We do.
We tend to say, I'll do it. Just let me do it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely true. And even when I would like my husband to do other things, I just am like,
I take it over.
he doesn't do it the way I want him to.
Yeah. Yeah. The towels. Folding
dishes.
towels.
This is my thing. Okay, this is a
Dishes.
side note. If you're going to do the dishes, wipe off the counter
Now my counters never get cleaned.
around the dishes. But he does a great job with it. But one thing he will do, I do not do this. He rinses all the dishes first and then puts in the dishwasher.
Well, I lived in that complex. You have to
Yeah.
practically wash them before they
Yeah,
go
you
in the
do.
dishwasher. And they still break, and it broke half our dishes.
We have hard water stains because I don't think they have a water softener in there.
No, they do not, and we
And I
still
think
don't
my
have one.
clothes have been getting more
Yeah, we
ruined
still don't
since
have one in our house. My husband doesn't think we need it. He thinks I just need to clean more. Well, he didn't say it that way. He just said, "Isn't that just a water stain?" And I'm like, "No, that's a hard water
a little
stain."
different. Yeah, no, you
He
can't.
thought it was toothpaste because it dries white. We have black handles,
Yeah.
faucets. Yeah.
All the faucets there. But yeah, so I haven't taken over the dishes because I asked him to do that, and I've been struggling out
Yeah.
for 17 years, 18 years, and he's been doing them recently more often. And I'm really happy, and he's very proud about that.
Yes,
But now getting him to wipe the counters off
that's a hard one.
around it, would help also. And I'm trying to make sure I don't do that for him.
It's hard. Yeah, he's doing the dishes though.
But he's doing a great job with the dishes.
Yes.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Because it was a long time to get him to do that, because he came
I
from
know.
a home and a generation of certain roles,
Rules, the household rules. Yep, which we've talked about.
which we have.
Yes.
And I will probably still talk about
We'll
them
probably
until
have
I'm done.
another conversation about that too.
We need to have like a husband episode. But it's not, but some moms are not married, so I don't want to like.
Right? No,
not
no,
do
no,
that,
no.
but
Our partner episode.
a part that would be good.
A partner episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be 3 episodes.
My husband still is in denial that we do this, so it won't be him. He doesn't know what I do. He just knows I'm not at home.
My husband knows we do this. He's never seen a show. I think there's a reason.
Yeah. I would think he would have watched at least one by now.
No, he's not.
He watched
watching
one of them two of them get recorded though.
That's true, he was.
Yeah.
But he's never seen
He
one.
was our sound person for the first episode,
Yeah,
so
he's never seen one. But,
he told us we talked too much.
okay, so no, he can never say that about anybody, because honey, let me tell you, he can talk.
He can't talk, but he's fun. He's a fun conversationalist, and he has great taste in music.
Okay, yeah. We're all 80s people.
We're 80s people.
That's why we're saying
My husband's like, I could hang out with him. He has great music.
But today we're talking about seasonal affective disorder. So the biggest things, again, making sure you can, if you're sad, and it's not just a sadness, oh, you're sad every once in a while. If it's a sad where you're not doing your normal things, if you're not interacting with people, if you are staying at home all the time, if you're sleeping all the time, and we're talking about 15, 20 days out of the week,
Right.
out of the month, not out of the week. If it's becoming prevalent where it's taking over your life,
It's just you're feeling sluggish, like you want to get out of bed, but you just
You can't.
can't. You can't find the energy. Yeah. And then the one moment you feel like a little bit of like light or something, and you feel so much better. That's probably a big idea that you need to. And doctors can help with this.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be medication. I mean, one of the biggest therapies is light therapy.
Light, yeah.
And one of the other things is just vitamin D3. We were talking about this at
Yes,
lunch.
yes.
The four of us. Like, sometimes women over a certain age, again, I am not a doctor and I don't play one on TV. So please check with your doctor before
Yeah.
taking any medical advice from us on the show. But vitamin D3 is really beneficial for women over 30, 35, and definitely if you're in your 40s. That can also help. So there might be some vitamin deficiencies that can also affect this.
Right.
I am not a doctor, but getting your vitamins checked, getting your blood checked.
Seeing your doctor just to get a good, because we tend to, as adults, not go in for regular checkups anyways. And sometimes it can be the quickest way to find something that is going wrong and fixing it quickly.
Yeah.
And sometimes you wait too long and it's just too much to rebound from.
It is.
So please see your doctor.
Definitely. And if you need someone to talk to, you don't have that tribe, it's not embarrassing to get a therapist and you don't have to tell anybody.
No.
And if you've got to the point where you just don't want to do this anymore, please call the suicide prevention number at 1-800-273-TALK, 1-800-273-8255, because your life is worth living. I don't care how bad you might think it is, how angry or depressed or sad, or your life is worth living.
Yes. Okay.
I think
We'll wrap it up.
I think so.
Well, you can find us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and our YouTube channel from daystoyears.com.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I'll see you
you.
next time.
Bye.